Representative Dave Winters will announce a bid for lieutenant governor today. He'll officially announce his candidacy during a statewide fly-around before holding a news conference this afternoon at the Rockford Airport. Representative Winters now joins me by telephone as he gets ready to begin his statewide fly-around. Good morning, Representative.
Good morning, Steve.
Well, before we talk politics, some people may not be aware you are a pilot. What's the weather looking like right now for the flying?
Well, unfortunately, I am only a visual pilot. I can't fly instruments, and to get into Midway this morning, it's instrument flight rules only, and there's a lot of stacked up traffic. So we had to last minute cancel the fly-around. We'll be going to Chicago and to Springfield, but I'll have to cancel the stops in Champaign and Peoria, unfortunately.
Not a good way to start the official campaign, huh?
Right. Well, you have to be flexible and use what resources you have, so we'll use a car instead of a plane.
Okay. Well, you've been a state representative since the early 90s. Why the decision to try for a statewide office?
Well, I thought that this spring session was such a travesty with the incredible corruption issue that finally boiled to a head with the arrest of Governor Blagojevich. The commissions that were appointed that came back and said we really need some significant reforms in Illinois to take the corruption out, and we saw almost none of that take place. What little that did pass actually exempted important elements of state government, like the General Assembly. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is to highlight the need for systemic change, not just one law here, one law there, but change the process and the method of state government that we have. Since the cutback amendment that Pat Quinn put through 30 years ago, we have had one leader of the Illinois House on the Democratic side and only two Republicans. We have centralized control so much that those powerful leaders now, all they want to do is run for another two-year term in power instead of trying to get good policy for the state. They didn't see ethics reform as something that would help their power, so they blocked it. The way around that is a constitutional amendment, and by running for lieutenant governor, I can highlight that it needs statewide and hope to become a Republican team to really right the ship of state before we completely sink under bankruptcy.
Well, in the past, lieutenant governor has been a fairly low-key position. I think it was Bob Custer, a Republican, who indicated years ago he was bored by the job. Why do you want it?
Well, actually, the lieutenant governor's role is actually one that fits very well with a farmer and with someone who's lived in small towns and have been around the state for, and helped small towns through the Main Street program. Rural development is one of the key roles of the Lieutenant Governor's office through the Rural Bond Bank, the Rural Development Council that he chairs. The Lieutenant Governor also chairs the Illinois River Coordinating Council, which is an environmental organization trying to clean up the Illinois River but still use it for commercial purposes. I've been an environmentalist myself, very interested in prairie restoration and soil conservation. So between that and the economic development of rural Illinois, I think those two roles the lieutenant governor takes a lead role in are perfectly matched for my talents.
So again, the statewide fly-around is now basically just a trip to Chicago, and again, a news conference in Rockford is still on for this afternoon, correct?
Yeah, and Springfield.
And Springfield, okay. Representative Winters, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.